Cool, so we're gonna go ahead and switch the neck around to this part. We're gonna lay it down ever so gently so we can start working on the neck portion of this. Obviously you want to try to not scratch the paint, so pull them straight up, and that way you don't scratch the paint on the headstock. Oh, that just tore right off. I think that's definitely a good thing we're changing the strings. There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Now that we got the strings off, we want to start looking at taking these off first, and then we'll flip it upside down to take out the back screws. We'll show you that in just a minute. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, we're going to put this upside down, and we're going to start concentrating on taking out these little screws right here in the back. These screws are so tiny you don't want to lose them, so make sure they're right in front of you at all times because they grow legs. And you can kind of see how these screws, they just kind of let loose of everything. So one of the cool things about having friends that play guitars and fixing on guitars and kind of just changing things out and personalizing stuff is you always end up with leftover parts. So what we're doing today is we're actually going to do a trade. We're going to trade these tuners for some gold tuners that I have. That way, you know, one, I have another project I want to put these on, and then it's always a good idea to just save parts because, you know, over the years you start collecting stuff and you never know when the whole bartering thing kind of like comes into play. Now that we got the this off, it's a lot easier to also get the dust off of this stuff, so we're going to just dust those off. Bam. Make it look as nice as possible. That's what I like about microfiber. It just makes things easier. So we'll flip this back around upside down, and then we'll have this ready to receive the gold tuners that I have. But I gotta fish them out first, so give me a second. Alright, so cool thing about being a hoarder is that sometimes you have a bunch of parts, guitar parts lying around, so that's something that we're gonna try to experiment with. Let's see what we got. I know I got some gold tuning knobs in there somewhere, so we'll go through my stash and see what we got. So I've had a couple of parts. These are parts that I've always saved for like later projects. So I got bridges, tuners, pickups, knobs, all that good stuff. So we're doing tuners today. So I saved these off of another project. And we're going to put these Grovers that we took off of the Schecter for another day. So here's the gold ones, plus they got little locking tuners as well, which is pretty cool. And then we'll swap those out and pop these guys back in because I don't want to lose them. Trust me, I've lost a few. So over the couple of years that, you know, working on stuff, kind of have backups, spares, you know. This one's pretty cool. It's like a little Keystone one. I also have a couple of old vintage Gibson tuners somewhere in there, but you know, it's always good to put stuff away. So right now we're going to concentrate on these. one thing that I did have on these that might be kind of neat is that these are contrast tuners, so you do have a little bit of chrome and gold. That's gonna match really well with what's going on the body. So you have like the black pole pieces with the gold, and then you got the gold with the. It's gonna look cool, man. So can't wait to put these on. Plus lockers, can't beat that. So see how that looks in a minute. All right, so now that we got the gold coming out, we can start putting them into place. So these should be, there's only one way they go on. So you see that little spot right there where the screws go in? It should correspond with where the screw came out. Or at least it should. Huh. Interesting. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put these knobs on. The only thing that we did notice was when we put these two on that the mounting holes here and here are off from this one and this one. So cool little trick is you find a 1/8 inch drill bit and try to fit it in this 1/8 inch hole right there. Essentially make sure it fits in. So the center of that drill bit is essentially going to make the mark for your new hole. So you can kind of see where we're going in reverse instead of forward, because we don't want this to bite. So we want to put some pressure on this, and we want to get this right in the hole. And like I said, we're just making the mark. We're not actually drilling it out. And then that way we get our center mark. We take out the 1/8 drill bit, and then we're going to put a 1/16 drill bit, a lot smaller. And this is essentially where the screw is going to go in. See, so like, since there's already a mark, you can kind of see the mark already there. The drill bit's going to find the center, so it's not just traveling everywhere making a mess. So now that you know where the center is, we're going to line this back up where it was, and this is where we're going to go forward. We're not going to go all the way in, we're just going to make a pilot hole. The screw will grab the rest. Just to make the hole. So now that we got our new hole mounting holes lined up, that looks great. So you can kind of see when you put this back on there, it's already on center. And then we just got to do that one more time. A cool little trick that I like to do is you get yourself a little bit of, paste wax, and you dip your screw in there. That way it kind of like acts as a lubricant when you put it in there, when you put the screw in. So you just want to just kind of like dip a little bit in there. See that? Just a bit. So we get our small screwdriver, and then we kind of get that going. Getting it in there. There we go. Right there. Alright, we're almost there. Just one more to go. And like I said, I'd rather use hand tools over a drill on this one, especially because sometimes you could just send it a little too far and strip it or snap it off, and it just makes it a lot worse. Also, if you can get yourself a screwdriver with a magnet on it, or a magnetic screwdriver, that does help. But this screwdriver, I think I got it for free, came off of like a kit. So sometimes it's always good to have stuff like that come in like one of those IKEA kits or little furniture kits that you get. So it's always a good idea to hold on to those things. You never know when you might use them. Now we're updating the look of this one. So what we did on the other side, we did stainless steel with the gold, and you know, it does give it that machine custom look to it. So if you check it out, yeah, that just looks, like I said, that just looks luxurious right there. Pretty deluxe. Yeah, this thing's looking good. I'm really liking the way this is coming out. Cool. So I think pretty much the only thing left to do now is just string it up and, send her home. Also, one thing you want to make sure too is, you want to get these tightened down too. I mean, you don't want to do too tight, but you want to just kind of like, just snug. So, like I said, I never really like doing it this way. I kind of like just doing it from the top, because you can see how there's less contact on the actual finish of the instrument. That way you don't worry about scratches, binding, or dings or dents. Mind you, they do actually make better tools for this, but this tool is kind of like a one and done. It does it all pretty good. There you go. They're all snugged in pretty good. All right. Got to put some strings on it, and I think all right, we got it all stringed up, got it tuned up. It's pretty much go time. It's already done. So it's pretty cool how simple it is, from just changing the knobs to changing the pickups, how the whole guitar basically just, man, it just looks luxurious now. This thing looks way different from when we first got it. So all I gotta do now is just see what it sounds like. But yeah, I'm really liking the way this came out. I mean, I think if I can do this, pretty much anybody can do this. Just find some hardware and things that you like and personalize your stuff, man. Make it your own. Customize it, give it your own luxurious touch. So, got my buddy Roger here. He's gonna actually jam out with us. It's his guitar, so congrats on the guitar. What do you think, man?
I love it. Like the way, actually, the way it looks, man.
All right, guys. So, quick recap. Really quick and easy project. New tuning knobs, new pickups. Really easy setup. Thank God there's EMGs on them. It was just a quick plug and play system. Nothing too complicated. Something that anybody can handle. So I want to try to put more stuff like this in the future. Kind of just showing, that you don't have to be expert. You just gotta try, basically. So hope you enjoyed it.